I feel like I've heard, I'm just going to do some free association. Like, slept in, woke up late, going to go straight to the sauna and just see what happens. Sunshine, beautiful, early fall, very early fall day in the Midwest. Everything's bright and crisp. Like, how could the Bible have the authority to say in the dietary laws in the Torah, to specify what animals are clean, what are unclean to eat? It's got to have a split hoof. A land animal has to have a split hoof, and it has to chew its cud. If it's got those two features, then it's clean to be eaten for the Hebrews, the Israelites who are being given this information. And then it goes out of its way to say there is one animal that has a split hoof and looks like it's kosher, but does not chew its cud, and that's the pig. So therefore, if you travel around the world and you know what a pig looks like, and you see something that has a split hoof, but you've never encountered it before, like a buffalo or something like that, if it has a split hoof, you know it's not a pig, you know it chews its cud. Who could have the authority to make such a claim? Well, Israel's proud to tell you God Almighty only could do that. Or like if you're, being like a real devil's advocate and thinking of all the possibilities, you could say like a superior civilization that kind of seeded itself here on this planet and maybe created things for food could have this knowledge, aka aliens. That's always been a really powerful one to me. You can go test it out. Go search around and see if you can find something that's not a pig but has a true split hoof and doesn't chew its cud. I don't think you can't find anything. Who could have known that? Who could have built all the enormous structures like 12, 13,000 years ago? Pyramids all over the place, Göbekli Tepe, some other Tepe. And Göbekli Tepe, they say, was deliberately buried. Like it's enormous, it's astrologically sound, specific, and then they deliberately buried it, they say. Almost like they were deliberately planting some evidence for future generations for our benefit, or for whoever's going to find its benefit. And the only reason you would do something like that is if we keep repeating ourselves. If this just keeps being some cycle that you got to start from nothing, grow cultures, languages, technology, societal systems, religions, and eventually get to the point where you blow each other up. And then you got to start all over again from some little remnant, and that little remnant carries a little bit of information from the prior civilizations that all the new people won't know, and it gets passed down among some probably highly guarded secrets to make its way as a foundational points of philosophy and religious structure for the next go around. And those people have all the power, they have all the information, and there you go, you have it in different places. Hindus have some, Middle East has some, Native Americans have some, and everyone's got real similar stories. They all tell very similar stories about superior life form helping or hurting us down here in this lowly place. And it feels like we're coming up on that Sodom and Gomorrah time where we're about to see some nukes go off. People are about to turn to pillars of salt, have they flesh fall off they bones. Feels like we're just right around the corner from it. I mean, I hope not, but it seems like we just keep going around in circles. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Maybe it's just opportunity after opportunity to be better each time around. Be a better person to your neighbor. Be more patient. Be less narcissistic. Less selfish. Less violent. To evolve. Stop beating up your babies because they cry, because that's what your parents did. That's what their parents did before them. Well, I'm going to hit my kids. Just chances for generational trauma to heal and actual good products to come out of family lineages instead of just another barbarian full of anger and violence. Chances to learn patience, selflessness, giving. It's like in the New Testament where it says, Jesus says something about, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I had no clothes, you clothed me. When I had no place to lay my head, you gave me a place to lay my head, or something like that. That and whatever you do to the least of these, meaning like the most defenseless and helpless among society, he says, you do to me. And that's supposed to be God speaking. Well, what does that sound like other than God's in everyone? Everyone is a version of God trying to figure out how to navigate whatever this realm is. So everyone's some version of God. I mean, imagine like this reality is like a body. Why would you want to be like a cancer cell? Why would you want to go around with a bad attitude, committing crimes, harming people, acting like a self-centered, I'm going to get what's mine kind of a person? No forethought of a bigger picture. Just all we got is right here, right now. But why would you want to be that if you had the enlightenment that there's nothing here but God and everyone's just like a cell in that body? You would want to be a peaceful, like, entity to grow goodness and peace and kindness and harmony. You'd want to be a good integration in that structure, as opposed to some cancerous cell that's just spreading disharmony and hate and dis-ease and negativity. Why wouldn't you want to just be a force for positivity in life? Why would you want to be negative? Why would you want to, insist on taking a baseball bat from a little kid who his eyes just lit up because he just had a life-changing moment? Why would you want to ruin that for someone? The only answer, I think, is because you just don't know. When you don't know what you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know that there is this concept that God's in everyone, you can't find a way to rationalize that and use that in your life, then it's all out the window. You can do whatever you want. I mean, if you think that there's no bigger picture than you just being some vacuum cleaner to suck up goods and services and products and flavors and just a hedonist, you think that's all there is to life, then you could be a real piece of crap and not think twice about it. So, I mean, you can just go around in circles with this stuff, because that means it's incumbent upon the ones who do know, the ones who know better, it's incumbent upon them to have the patience, the desire to help and assist, to work on quote-unquote God's behalf, to try to better this place, to try to teach and educate and show by example. And that doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem like life is fair, but maybe it is, because if we're all going around in circles, if we're constantly being given chances to improve and evolve and be a better version than the time before, the better than the previous go-around, then maybe it is fair. Measure for measure, they say. They say God keeps track of everything, and nothing's lost. God's like the ultimate recycler. Nothing just dissipates. Everything's energy, vibrating energy that gets recycled right back into the system. And maybe there is some, watching the books of what each one of us as a soul, the version of the Spirit of God that's in every individual has the soul. Maybe there's some watching of the books of how we perform and how we evolve each chance we get. Like, do we take that opportunity, or at the end of the day, are we like Cypher in the Matrix? We're like, I don't even care. I don't care if it's all fake. I just want to enjoy this fake steak and have good sensations. All I want is bodily sensations. That's all I care about. I mean, that's at least as bad as just a mere animal. And if you do have a supernal spirit within you in the form of a soul, then that's not good enough. You probably have to come back and try again. Be a good person.